So we've all heard of multitasking, but if you're going to make it in IT in any of these top jobs, the top data jobs, you're going to have to monotask. Mono, meaning one. One. So we've got different silos, right? You're going to have to silo your learning. Maybe you're started over here as a data analyst, data engineer, MLE, machine learning engineer. All right, but you think Python cool, so you're over here studying Python. Maybe you think data engineering is cool, so you're over here studying CI/CDs. Yet you don't have a job in the data space. If you don't have a job in the real world in IT, in a Python role, in a Python programming role, and a data role, these jobs are not for you. These are not entry-level jobs. Not entry level. Anywhere in the US, I don't know anything about Europe or the rest of the world. In the US, in the real world, you're not going to get a job here doing anything real world, I promise. This is probably the only entry level job there is. So what skills should you be focusing on? Well, two, right? SQL, number one, and number two, an interface like asterisk, Power BI, or Tableau. That's it. This is all you need to focus on. This is it. That's it in order to get a job. If you're an expert in SQL and an interface like one of these, you're going to get a job as a data analyst. I promise. Especially if you have certs, the certs I recommended. However, if you read a book on SQL or if you watch one of my courses and go, oh, I get it, you're not going to learn shit. You're going to have to actually put some time in. You're actually going to have to understand the interview questions. You're actually going to have to understand relational databases, data warehouses. All right. And the only time you should be moving over here into this silo is when you're in another role. Let's say you're a Python programmer and you want to be a data engineer. All right. Then this is where you should be. You're a data analyst right now. You're already an expert in these. Well, not an expert, but you're working with them every day. All right, time to move to a DE or an MLE, right? What over here? Well, SQL. This is the top. First, SQL. If you don't know SQL, I'm in your host. All these jobs require SQL. This is the top skill for a data engineer, and this is one of the top skills for an MLE. So, what else? CI, CDs, CI, what? CDs. Create pipelines. SQL. Cloud. You're over here going to have to learn cloud tech. Like everything these days is cloud. Over here, it's mandatory. Like you can get a job working with SQL locally and Power BI, and it may be local to the organization. It may be on-prem, is what we say, on-prem. However, over here, it's not. I forget what the number is, but it's something crazy. Like 85%, 90% data engineers, MLEs are now done in the cloud. So you're going to need cloud skills. All right. So cloud skills over here, cloud here, cloud. SQL, CI/CD, cloud, data movement tools, cloud, ELT or cloud CI/CD tools. All right. And MLE, this is over here. This is just brutal. I mean, there's a reason there are 400,000 jobs open here. SQL, you're going to need applied stats. Applied stats. You're going to need Python. You're going to need modeling. You're going to need how to put those in production in the cloud. Put in prod in cloud. You're going to need data warehousing skills. Over here, you're going to need data warehousing skills too. One data warehouse, and certainly one relational database. Relational database. But it doesn't matter what you're going to learn in your silos, your specific tech stack. Do one at a time. Monotask. If you're over here, spend all your time here till you get a job. Don't jump over here. You're over here and you're like, oh, I want to get bored. I want to learn some Python. Don't do it. The amount of information you're going to have to learn for any one of these careers is voluminous, right? I promise you, if you're not in these roles, it's more than you think. spend time here to get the job. If you're here or here, this is where you want to spend time then, all right? If you're not in a data role, you're not a Python programmer, maybe you're a C# programmer or a C++ programmer, then you can start here, right? This is a good starting point for you. You want to be a data engineer, you want to be an MLE. If you're not in any role, this is it. It's basically the only option. You won't be working as a data engineer or an MLE out of college, promise. And if you do, you'll be working on joke projects. No one's going to give you access to anything over here. You're simply not qualified. Monotasking. Start spending your time in the verticals of what you want to learn and stop jumping ship to learn something you think is cool. Stay away from shit like ChatGPT. We don't use it in IT. Stay away from it. DeepSeek. DeepSeek. Oh, it's cool. I want to learn about that. Stay away from it. It's not used in the real world. All right? Focus. Focus. Focus on what you need for the job. All right, so you get it. So you got to learn a ton of stuff. Monotask for each specific role. All right, let's not forget about the LogicBot deal going on right now. Here we are on LogicBot. If we come down to the bottom and we click on Enroll Now, we click on, you can look on the courses if you want. There are quite a few of them. Click on Get Started and have a coupon. And we type YouTube 25. I don't think it has to be in caps. It does not. You get LogicBot for a significantly reduced price. All right, so recommend you take advantage of this. There are lots of freebies on here. The interview cheat sheet is what Microsoft uses for interviewing candidates. There's a 100-page download machine learning interview cheat sheet that I used after I interviewed at Amazon and eventually didn't take that role because it was 100% travel. And I have 2 young boys. That's a no-go. So if you're interested in learning machine learning, you're interested in learning data analysis, here's your opportunity to learn from someone who's done it for 30 years.